Each week, we have the absolute pleasure of sitting down virtually with a top leader in the industry or a coach or someone that has had significant success in direct sales and network marketing. And every time we ask them the question, what does it mean to be a kingdom minded mompreneur? So we took a compilation, a kind of mashup of everything that these incredible women have said about, their version and definition of the kingdom minded mompreneur. And you are going to get to hear those today. Welcome to the Kingdom Minded Mompreneur, where we, Becky
and Monique, your new biz besties, both busy moms just like you.
We're here to talk all things network marketing, mom life, and how to truly live out your calling. We'll be dropping 2 episodes each week to help you, the busy mompreneur, know the exact strategies to build both your business and your home. You'll hear each week from one of the top network marketers on their best tips for what's led to their success and what's working now.
We know that you're here because you are called to something more. You have a desire to succeed in both your business and at home, and we are going to teach you how. If you love what you hear here on the podcast and want to be one of our success stories, join us inside our community, the Kingdom Minded Mompreneur, where we provide a daily social media action plan, additional resources, kingdom coaching, and more. Click the show notes for the link to join. So let's get into the episode. So if you think about the Kingdom Minded Mompreneur, just that name, how would you define that? Like, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I love that name. And I'm sure you two have been just having lots of conversations about that name and what that looks like. But for me, it's such a beautiful thing that kingdom work can be really anything. It doesn't have to have a reverend or a pastor, role or title before it for it to be kingdom work. And I think that's what network marketing has really taught me in a way is God's like, I can use anything. Anything is kingdom work when you have me in mind and when you have my glory in mind. And so for me, being a kingdom-minded mompreneur is that I'm always seeking how, and I'm a sinful person, okay? I'm not perfect at this, but how can I bring God glory? Like how, this makes me emotional, truly, of how can I serve other people with what he's given me? What resources has he, entrusted me with to steward? And then how can I multiply that to bring him glory and praise? And it pains me when people can't see my work as that. I think that's been one of the hardest things is when people can't see, they see me maybe, network marketing. I want to speak to these network marketers who are like, a lot of times we are misunderstood and we are judged in a way that is unfair because we look in social media that maybe we're out to get just money for ourselves or just want to gain our own praise, but that is not the case at all, at least not for my heart. Is that any dollar that comes into our bank account, would we be faithful to decide where that goes? And that the Lord would just entrust us with that, and just with our kids too, like kingdom work, it's like God has entrusted 4 beautiful kids. I am not a perfect mom. I get frustrated. I've had bad days, but the beautiful thing is I get new mercies every morning. And what can I do to raise my kids kingdom-mindedly? Like that this is an eternal perspective, not just for today. And I think that's just been always my heart. So I love your name and I love what you are doing. And that has just been, that's a huge part of why I do what I do.
And I think so much, in this industry, being kingdom-minded is realizing that we're co-laboring with God. I can't do this on my own. Like, there is no way. But if I'm in partnership with him and co-laboring with him in this business, if he's the CEO and I'm the president, we're doing this together, I can't even imagine what can be done.
Mm,
Yes. Oh,
love it.
so good.
So good.
Keep the main thing the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. And I would say do everything unto the Lord and not unto rank, title, whatever, right? And what do I mean by that? I know we all say that and we all believe that we're doing everything as unto the Lord. We're doing this for his glory. We're doing this. But okay, but can you do that in the tiny nitty gritty parts when you're just like, I don't even want to do this real. I don't even want to curl my hair, right? For me, it's I don't want to curl my hair. I don't want to curl my hair ever. I don't
Hey,
want to
your
even put
hair is
makeup.
looking really good. For those who are listening on the audio, they're gonna have to go watch the video because your hair is on point.
Well, thank you. But like things like that, right? Like if I'm selling a hair product, I probably got to put some curl my hair. But there's just it's do everything unto the Lord. Like I don't want to do the team call and uplift my team when I just got in a fight with Phil. I literally just I'm crying. I'm all messed up. I'm in a real bad mood, and I don't want to pour into anybody sometimes. And I'm like, now I got to go get on here and inspire somebody. Close my do everything as unto the Lord. So I think that when I think of kingdom minded mompreneur, that's what it is. It's taking all the 5 million things in your brain of like, but I don't want to do this. I don't feel like doing this. I don't, but it's going, okay, but if God has called me to do it, then I'm not doing it in my own energy. And thank God for that, that he's going to give me the words I need to say when I have nothing to say to the team after, again, Phil and I just got in a fight or whatever, right? It's keeping the main thing, which is you told me to do it. I don't need to know the ifs, ands, buts, whys, or even feel it in this moment. I'm just going to show up. I'm just going to show up and I'm going to do this as unto you, Lord. So those are a couple of things. Another thing I think of is somebody who cares more for people than they do about how that person's going to affect their business. And what I mean by that is, do you love people the same and support them the same, even if it does not benefit you in any way? Even when they do leave your team, even if they return your product, even when your best friend from first grade says something nasty about you in the or whatever it is, I don't know, like, do you care more about the person than you do about how they're going to affect your organization? That will show tremendously. That will take you so far. It is so rare in leadership, sad to say. There are great people who do it, but do people think that you really care about them, or that you care about you hitting your rank this month and that's why you're texting them? Do you think, that kind of stuff? That's kingdom minded on mompreneurship right there, is to be able to say, I really need this month, or I would really, but you know what? She needs me more as a friend right now. She needs me more as a mentor right now. They just need me to pray over them right now, or whatever, right? So that to me is kingdom minded mompreneurship.
Yeah, that's so good. So the kingdom is actually something I have really pressed into, because one of the verses, obviously, my podcast is seek first. And I'm like, well, I probably should really understand Matthew 6:33. And the kingdom, I think, is an ongoing revelation of who God is and who we are and what actually we have access to. And so I would say a kingdom-minded mom, a mompreneur, she is living a seek first life. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. And so I think she understands the significance and the source of all things. And whether it's, business or life or whatever, she's able to quiet the noise, get into the secret place, and seek the Father, and knowing that that is going to be where she's going to find the answers, her peace, her joy, her comfort, above all else.
So I thought about this when you guys, asked me and sent me some questions, and it was almost like instantaneously what I knew to say, and I wrote it down. It's just letting God guide her, just giving permission to let God guide you, like to really be in all the ways, whether it's mom, whether it's wife, whether it's, CEO of your business, really praying for God's guidance, because, and I just got chills myself, because it is so much easier to do what he calls us to do than it is to try to make the decisions on our own.
Yes.
It's hard to decipher at times, but it's like my prayer for everybody listening and for all of us. And I tell my girls this all the time, and I pray for them, that for them to hear God's lead. Whether
That's so
it's
good.
in, whether it's in, do I call that person and offer them the opportunity? Do I, sign up for that vendor event? Do I, have this difficult conversation with the team member? Do whatever it is, just letting, and the other thing is I often pray, Lord, you lead my team. As during my divorce, Becky, like that was a big prayer for me during my cancer, because I know what's involved in this business. I know what's involved. It's a personal business, it's connection, it's time with people, it's personalization. And honestly, it's what I love the most about it. But when you are going through challenges, you sometimes don't have that emotional energy. And so leaning in on the Lord, you guide my team. You guide. And I'll tell you, I was told by a mentor, most women that go through a divorce, their business will decrease by 30%. Okay, that's real encouraging at the time you need it. And I was like, oh, no. No, I don't want that. I can't do that. So you know what I did? I just prayed. I'm like,
Wow.
God, you guide me. You guide the team. You help that not happen. And so when I think of, Kingdom Minded Mompreneur, I just think, just pray for the Lord to lead you in all the things.
Honestly believe that the Kingdom Minded Mompreneur understands that when she becomes her best self, she's therefore the best for her family and her community. I think that so many times we've heard this, where we get into a situation where we put everything in front of us and we're the last to get a massage, the last to spend time, the last to get good sleep, the last to eat right. But the bottom line is, and I want to tell you guys, this did not come from direct selling. This came from my father. He said, Gloria, look at yourself in the mirror before you leave out this house and make sure you're bringing your best self forward. So if women, you can ask any woman who's gotten to the top. And that's why I love what Monique and Becky are doing here, because they've been there and they know they had to select themselves first. And it's not talked about enough that when you select yourself first, then you are better for your kids. You are better for the community. You bring your best to the family. When you are a frustrated person who knows they're meant for more, but you don't go and get more, that same frustration follows you to your bedroom. It follows you to the kitchen. It follows you to your parents' house. It makes you not a great sister, not a great girlfriend. You will find yourself complaining when you have nothing to complain about. And you don't figure it out until you see someone who is way worse than you. But why do we choose to stay in the conversation of complaining when we can't do anything about it? It's whining unless the person you're talking to can do something about the situation.
Our job as parents is to teach our kids how to think, not what to think. And if you can teach your kids the critical thinking process, so like in my book where I talk about the questions, if you can teach your kids how to ask powerful questions of themselves and of God, of the Bible, while they're reading the word, you're teaching them a very powerful skill that will live on long past you. Because our job as parents is to raise them to be independent beings. right? One day we're not going to be around to help them with all their problems. And I think right now there's a lot of parents that are too protective, they're sheltering their kids too much. And, they just, I don't know, they give their kids too many choices. And my thing is like, hey, we are all in God's kingdom. Okay. And there are kingdom laws. Just like if we live in the US, there are laws to live in the US. But then on top of that, for us Christians, there are laws of the kingdom and we need to be mindful of them. There are written laws that are in the Bible, and then there are unwritten laws from stories and parables, right? That God and Jesus use in the Bible. And so we need to be aware of this and know the mindsets behind why we want to follow these laws. Because when you're in covenant with God and his, and you're living in kingdom, everything will be in alignment for our kids. But most of us, we're not taught these kingdom rules. And so it's our job as parents to teach them the keys to the kingdom.
Oh, my word. Can we just agree? There is so much goodness and wisdom and just godly advice for the Kingdom Minded Mompreneur in today's podcast episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it filled your heart, your cup. And I just want to encourage you to pass it along to a friend. Share the message with someone that you know needs to hear it today.
Thanks so much for listening to the Kingdom Minded Mompreneur. If you loved what you heard today, could you stop and give us a 5-star rating and review? It helps our visibility on podcasting platforms so others like you can hear more of this message.
Also, if this episode encouraged you, we would love for you to pass it along to your own biz bestie and anyone else who could benefit. Lastly, don't forget that if you want to hang out with us just a little bit more, join us inside the Kingdom Minded Mompreneur community. Click the link in the show notes. Bye for now.